Dear students, in this session of design of gear, we will see the topic that is law of gearing. The significance of law of gearing is that we can design a gear train which can transmit the power most efficiently by maintaining the constant velocity ratio. The law of gearing states that the common normal at the contact point of two mating teeth of two different gears should always pass through a fixed point. That fixed point is known as the pitch point to maintain the constant velocity ratio. So here, to have the constant velocity ratio, the condition is that the common normal at the contact point of the two mating teeth of two mating gear should always pass through the pitch point. Students, in this session of design of gear, we will go through the topic that is law of gearing. The significance of law of gearing is that by applying which we can achieve an efficient power transmission in the gear train by maintaining the constant velocity ratio. Now we'll see the statement of the law of gearing. Law of gearing states that the common normal to the tooth profile at the point of contact should always pass through a fixed point that is called as the pitch point to obtain a constant velocity ratio. So if you look at the statement, it is divided into three parts. One, that is the common normal to the tooth profile at the point of the contact. Means consider here the point C, then N in this particular figure is the common normal to the both tooth profiles that always pass through a fixed point. Means N should pass through a fixed point, that is point P, to obtain the constant velocity ratio. So this is the condition that common normal should pass through a fixed point, that is pitch point. Now we'll see O1 and O2. O1 and O2 are the two centers of the two rotating gears which are rotating at an angular velocities omega 1 and omega 2. C is the common contact point between two teeth of two gears, and N is the common normal at the point C. CA means this figure CA is the velocity of point C when it is considered on gear 1, and CB is the velocity vector of point C when it is considered on gear 2. Means here point C is considered on gear 1 as well as on gear 2 because it's the contact point of two teeth of the different gears. So CA represents the velocity of the point C when it is considered on gear 1, while CB, vector CB, represents the velocity of point C when it is considered on gear 2. So now we have CA and CB, two velocity vectors which represents the velocity of point C. We can say that CA is perpendicular to O1C. CA is the perpendicular to O1C. We know that the velocity, tangential velocity of a rotating material point is equal to the angular velocity of that point with respect to fixed center point and the distance of that point to the center point. So CA and O1C are perpendicular, and also the CB is perpendicular to O2C. The projections of two vectors CA and CB on normal, that is nothing but CD, must be equal. This projection of CA and CB on the normal, that is CD, must be equal, otherwise the teeth will not remain in contact and there will be a slip. Means the velocity of C would be same whether it is on gear 1 or it is on gear 2. So the magnitude of velocity, that is CA, equal to omega 1 into O1C, means tangential velocity of point C when it is on gear 1, that is equal to omega 1 into radial distance, that is CO1. Same way CB equal to omega 2 into O2C. So we can have the velocity ratio, that is omega 1 by omega 2 equal to O2C by O1C into CA by CB. This equation is equation A. Consider triangle O1CG, this triangle O1CG, and triangle CAD. These two triangles are similar triangles. Hence, O1C by CA equal to here O1C by CA equal to O1G by CD. So that is equation B. Now similarly consider two triangles O2FC, O2FC, and triangle CDB. These two are also similar. So we can obtain the relationship, that is O2C by CB equal to O2F by CD. You can see here O2C by CB equal to O2F by CD. So now from B and C we can have the relationship, that is CA by CB equal to O1C divided by O2C into O2F divided by O1G. So this can be further rewritten as CA into O2C divided by CB into O1C equal to O2F by O1G. Means from this we can obtain the equation D. Now, so we have relationship A and relationship D. Relationship A represents the angular velocity ratio omega 1 by omega 2 in terms of Ca, Cb, O1c and O2c. Same way in relationship D, there is a relationship between the terms related to Ca, Cb, O1c, O2c to the O2f by O1g. So in both this relationship, these two terms are common. So from A and D, we can obtain the relationship that represents the angular velocity ratio omega 1 by omega 2 equal to O2f by O1g. O2f by O1g. That is the relation E. Now consider triangle O2FP. Triangle O2FP and triangle O1GP. Now both these triangles are similar. Hence we can have O2F by O1G. O2F by O1G equal to O2P by O1P. So ultimately from E and F we can have omega 1 by omega 2 equal to O2P by O1P. This is the required relationship of angular velocity ratio to O1P and O2P. So here we can say that O1P plus O2P equal to O1O2. Here O1P plus O2P, that is nothing but O1O2. So here O1O2 is the center distance of two gear 1 and gear 2, which is constant. This means if you look at the law of gearing, which states that the common normal to the tooth profile at the point of contact should always pass through a fixed point called as the pitch point to obtain the constant velocity ratio. Means here to obtain the omega 1 by omega 2 as a constant, means P point, as O1 and O2 are the two centers which are fixed, so P point must be the fixed one. So that is nothing but the pitch point. So hence it is proven that for the constant velocity ratio, the normal at the contact point of the tooth profiles should pass through the constant point, that is point P. So therefore for a constant velocity ratio omega 1 by omega 2, point P should be a fixed point, and this point is called as pitch point. So hence this is the analytical proof of the law of gearing. I hope the topic is clear.